So today I wanted to talk about gluten. And if you're somebody that has a gluten sensitivity, this video is going to go through a protocol on how to reverse your sensitivity. I was someone that had a gluten sensitivity in the past, and I can tell you by the time that I spent eating gluten-free that it is no fun. I mean, most of the foods that taste good and feel good have gluten in them. And constantly worrying about what foods you can have and looking at ingredients lists of everything that you buy, I mean, that's no fun. By now everyone's well aware of this gluten phenomenon. It's been one of the biggest buzzwords out in the nutrition community for the last few years. There are three categories relating to gluten intolerance: celiac disease, wheat allergy, and non-celiac gluten sensitivity. Now, the wheat allergy is totally different from the other two categories. A wheat allergy is a histamine response to wheat. A wheat allergy is considered a type 1 hypersensitivity, which the celiac disease is not. Now, someone with a non-celiac gluten sensitivity may show a lot of the same symptoms as someone with celiac disease, but a blood test would come back negative for celiac disease and for a wheat allergy. It's estimated that 40% of Americans suffer from a gluten intolerance of some sort. Now, there are numerous symptoms for gluten sensitivity, so I just listed out a few of the most common ones. Abdominal pain and bloating, nausea, numbness or tingling in the hands and feet, weight loss, grayish stools, fatigue, alternating bouts of constipation and diarrhea, lactose intolerance, and teeth and gum problems. So what do we do to heal the gut and get yourself free of this gluten problem? Well, for starters, you want to stop eating gluten for about 1 to 2 months. These would be all things including wheat, barley, rye, and even oats, even though oats are not normally something with gluten, but cross-contamination is something that's possible during the manufacturing process. You're going to want to eat GMO-free, and I know that can be difficult because GMOs are not going to be labeled a lot of times, but it's something that you can strive for. And then eating very little to zero sugar, another very difficult thing, but sugar just feeds candida. And then other foods to stop during the protocol would be things like dairy products, processed foods, caffeine, and alcohol. You want to get more fiber into your diet. It's very important to help start clearing things out. And then the water is another big key there. You can add lemon juice or apple cider vinegar, because a lot of times people with gluten sensitivities have lower stomach acid, and this would be something that can help that. So I bet you figured probiotics and enzymes would show up in this video, and they did. Find a good quality probiotic. You're going to want a probiotic that is in a refrigerator. These are living organisms. These are things that if subjected to heat can die. So don't go cheap when looking for a probiotic, because you could be taking something that is a capsule full of dead organisms. Generally, you want to look for probiotics that have multiple strains in them. The more strains, the better, because each strain works on a specific part of the gut. Now, one of the most important strains as far as gluten sensitivities go would be Saccharomyces boulardii, as it is a yeast that helps soothe the gut tissues. Start eating more fermented foods. Sauerkraut is by far my favorite fermented food. It has all the proper strains already in it for all parts of the gut. But any of the other kind of fermented foods will be great as well, as long as they're not yogurts that are loaded up with sugar. And then take a full spectrum digestive enzyme before each meal. Now, as far as other supplementation goes, L-glutamine is going to be by far the most important one to go with. It's been shown to help heal gut lining at high dosages, and we're talking like 15 to 20 grams a day. So in order to do that, you're pretty much going to have to take a powder form of it. The pills generally only have about 500 milligrams to 1 gram per pill. And some of the other things like omega-3s, the fish oils, cod liver oil, and krill oils are going to be really good for you, getting those essential fatty acids. Colostrum is great for the intestinal lining and helps reduce inflammation. And then you have your herbs like slippery elm and marshmallow, Ginger and fennel are great for your stomach, and kudzu root. And you got to remember, if you've been having all of these digestive issues from this gluten sensitivity, that you're probably going to be a little malnourished. Your absorption is just not working the same way. So try to reintroduce some good vitamins and minerals, and you can always add in more fiber to your diet if you have to through supplementation. So some of the other factors that you're going to want to consider while going through this program would be get your 8 hours of sleep every night, as sleep is when your body's doing its most healing. Try to eat meals without a beverage. I know this can be pretty tough, but when you're drinking something with your foods, you're actually washing out all of your enzymes to properly digest these foods. So just give it a try and see if you can do it and stick to it. Exercise is always a big thing. If you're out lifting weights, running, biking, any of those kind of things that are going to make you feel good and kind of get you more energized, it's going to really help. And even though it does give you some bit of an acute stress, in the long term, your stress levels are going to fall when you're doing those sort of things. I don't know if you've ever heard of the gut and brain connection, but it's pretty strong. And when your mind is running wild on the stress and this cortisol, it really affects your gut health. So make sure to keep that in check. And mindset is everything. I mean, this program is something that's not easy to do. You got to be strong, but at the same time, you just have to, think about the good things that you're doing and the progress that you're making, and your mind is able to control a lot of the functions in your body. So now it's time for the quality check. Discipline is key. Make sure that you're being consistent with this protocol. If you only do it for a week before you quit, it's not going to do anything for you. If you're cheating a little bit here and there, it's not going to work. And then stop eating out. You don't know what they're putting in the food at the restaurant that you're at. Even if you ask them, they probably don't even know. So I would just totally avoid eating out and make your own foods and buy your own stuff. Buy organic, buy whole food supplements. If you're getting the vitamins and minerals, remember to buy the best bioavailable forms of those vitamins and minerals. And then don't be fooled by symptom relief. You may already start feeling better after just a few days of doing this. That doesn't mean to get back into your old ways. The gut needs time to heal, and it does take a lot of time to heal. So give it at least a month, 2 months to be sure, and after it's all said and done, you can get back to eating the foods that you like again. You can go out for pizza, and you don't have to worry about feeling horrible an hour or two afterwards. You don't have to worry about taking your enzymes before you eat. You don't have to worry about any of that anymore. You're free of this prison that is the gluten sensitivity. Just remember to not make pizza and donuts and cakes and all those kind of things the staple of your diet, because the 3 pillars of health are eat well, lift well, and sleep well. This has been another edition of Supplemental Sense.